So already we have played it really bad, right? We're doing the thing where like we're playing in the range that she likes to play. We're spacing out
Mm-hmm.
at the range of her spells without we being able to hit. So either you wanna be, you see your caster minions, there are like two
Yeah.
in a line, yeah. So that's the place where you can't be. You either wanna be deeper than that or further away than that. It's almost as if you're playing as if you were the long range champion. The idea is that we're gonna divide this into like a couple of things that I will teach about how to play into long range. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
every time you go to a Reddit or Discord server, every time they ask you something about the champions, like for example, I'm in Samira mains Reddit, I'm in Lucian
Yeah.
mains Reddit, like all like I know no cope. 50% of the posts in that Reddit is like how to play against long range, how to play against long range, and I feel like in my sessions as well, every time I meet a new person, I ask them, "Oh, do you want to know something before we start?" Yeah, how do we play against long range? It's like people, I don't know. And then when you look at the win rates, like long range doesn't even have that much win rate in. I mean, when they do, it's not because of the range. So it's just annoying to play against. I think for people, and they mind block and they play worse as a consequence. But they don't know how to play against this, and I don't think it's that hard. I think it's you just gotta change how you play a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you a couple of things that you gotta do against long range champions. So number one, so how to play against long range. Number one is either full push the first wave really fast or really hard, more than the enemy, or don't touch it at all and just last hit. So what this means is the worst thing you can do against outrange matchup is somewhat push wave, but not a lot. And this is what you will see most people do. They just autopilot and hit minions somewhat, but not pushing. So you either wanna, so either don't leash and just arrive early and hard push it, or stay in XP range, not hitting. Because remember, even if enemy just last hits, you don't last hit. It will come to you eventually, and you just miss a couple CS worth of gold, but no XP. So
Okay.
usually the way I would recommend it is like if the enemy arrived to the lane early and you can't hard push it level 1, then just go far away and just stay in XP range. Let them get the gold. Just miss the gold, but you get the XP. And especially this is for bot lane more than anything. If you're in bot lane and the enemy leash, or they for X reason arrive somewhat later than you can hard push the first wave, and that's also a really good thing. So if you're playing like Samira Lucian, if you don't leash, if you leash, you're gonna lose. So you shouldn't leash into long range. So if you're playing like Samira, Lucian, Nyla, any short range champions, if the enemy is not in the lane and you arrive first because you didn't leash, or somehow you managed to arrive first, just hard push the wave as much as you can. And if you continue hard pushing the wave, the enemy can't actually poke you. This is because when you're pushing the wave, if you hard push the wave, let's say the enemy is red and they have long range comp, but they arrive kind of late. So if you start hard pushing the wave, what happens is that the wave gets off sync, meaning you already finished killing the minions, so you
Mm-hmm.
can 2v1 the enemy support, which is the only one that can poke you. So what's gonna happen is that the enemy ADC still has to farm because he still hasn't killed the minions. Push. So then the enemy support has to poke you 1v2, but you guys have already finished killing the minions. So you can actually 2v1 focus this guy, and this guy has to focus on the minions. So it's gonna be really easy. Also, if you perma push, you get the level ups first, so they can't really be that aggressive, and you can actually engage on them and be more aggressive. So yeah, you can. Hard pushing is one of the best things you can do into outrange matchup. One of the best things you can do. We have a Kali fleet second wind shield, and this is before Absorb Life existed. So now she would have even more sustain. So low elo players, what they would do in this matchup is they would stay far away with a Kali and give up some minions because Azir will poke you. You don't want to get poked. But the way second wind and shield work is like the lower HP you are, the more they heal you. So it gets to a point that if the enemy doesn't have ignite, they can't actually ever kill you. You should stay on top of their poke and it won't matter. Just regen too much when you're low. So what Faker's gonna do is like intentionally be low HP on top of the soldier and just last hit, because the HP that he loses will come back. It's fine. But the minions that he would lose would never come back if he loses the minion. So Halo players, we use the sustain runes to intentionally get hit and not miss the minions. So if you have sustain runes, use your HP as a resource and get the minions. The worst thing you can do with sustain runes is like be far away, right? So you can see it here. So he's on top of his soldiers, he doesn't care, and he's farming on top of his soldier. It doesn't matter because he regens too much. See, he walks on to every minion. He doesn't give up any minions. But he heals way too much, so it doesn't matter. Like Asir, it gets to a point that Asir can never kill him. So the HP comes back, but the minions he got, if he had lost them, they wouldn't come back. So using health as a resource. The one thing you never want to do, don't play somewhat passive under your tower with no plan, letting perma push. This is the worst thing.
Against Aurora, this is the first game I've ever played against her, but she's a mage, so I'm assuming she's gonna poke from decently far away, like further than my abilities. So, way I cope is either try to get minions out of her range because I can use my abilities to farm outside of her own range because she's not that far away, or she's not that long range. And then number two, since there are aggressive runes, if I do get opportunities or windows, I just all in her. Because as a poke mage,
that's what I was gonna say. She has TP and you have ignite, and then you have more early damage and all that. So one of the best things you can do is, for example, early you trade a lot of HP on an all-in that doesn't kill but leaves both of you low. So then if you're both at say 40% HP, then she can't walk up and poke your farm because she will risk getting flash stun ignited. So one of the best things you can do is like very early just do like a trade that is very aggressive, and then like that's the thing, like poke champions can only poke you and play on that poke range when they're like both of you are full or they're full HP. But if you get them low, the risk of the flash, if you're like a champion like Pantheon, is too much, so they can't really play like that.
I didn't know if it was Nasus or Aurora because the leaderboard was messed up, but I saw his match with Nasus, so I just assumed the Doran's Blade.
You had domination secondary?
Yeah, I had domination because with both matchups, I literally won. Yeah.
Go back. So see, this is a good example. So wait, press play 1 second.
Yep.
And opposite. So let's click on you and look at your Q. So it's divided by 60.
Yeah, so it's a 4 point something cooldown.
And click on her. Let's look at her cooldown. Okay. So my question would be there. You both trade a Q for Q, and then you spaced out instead of keep walking at her and auto attack and then Q again later.
Okay.
So why do we do that, right? Because she doesn't have Q. She can Q twice before she gets it back. Besides, her attacks be so low one that if she returns to auto attack you back, for example, that's enough for you to auto attack her. Reach the range, right? So look at how you walk back. Because the thing is, when you finish a trade, usually there's two people that can finish the trade. Either you can finish a trade or she can finish a trade. That means who walks away first, right? Melee champions shouldn't be the ones finishing the trade. You know why? Because if you walk away from the trade first, then she gets 1 or 2 auto attacks extra while you're running away, which is what happened. However, if you keep going, she is the one that turns away first. So then when the trade finishes, she doesn't get extra auto attacks on you. You get it? So see there how you're walking away? You shouldn't do that. You should keep running to her.
Okay, makes sense.
And say that she just runs away. Well, the only way she could run away if you run at her is not auto attacking you. But if that happens, then you don't lose HP anyway, and you zone her away from the minion, so it's fine. So you're playing more passive than you should. See again there, why you're spacing out. Go back, go back. You spaced out and let her hit Q. Like you need to keep walking in instead of spacing out. Because you walked away and see there, she can hit you if you do that. And you did it again and she hit the next Q. Just space in instead of spacing out. Here, look at how you click back. See? Why do you click back? Just keep running in and then you Q.
Okay, makes sense.
It's almost as if you're playing as if you were the long range champion.
Yeah. I think a lot of the mistakes early on to this game was me just not understanding what the fuck she does. But on top of the fact that it's a...
So far, you have hit 2 Qs on her in total, and she has hit 3 Qs on you, but her Qs hit
Mhm.
more because it's like back and forth.
Mhm.
Plus she hit electrocute, I think, once, but you obviously haven't hit. Okay, that's why you're lower
Easy.
than her.
Yeah.
So already we have played it really bad, right? We're doing the thing where like we're playing in the range that she likes to play. We're spacing out
Mhm.
at the range of her spells without we being able to hit. A lot of these plays, you're just clicking back for no reason instead of walking forward. You need to keep walking
Mhm.
forward.
Okay.
Again, here, see? You did it again, go back. You do well now and now what happened by the way is that you reached the remember what I said when I took the notes? You reached the level 2 power spike, however you got poked so much earlier that your power spike, even though you're supposedly stronger, is meaningless. See? Look at your HP. Remember when I
Yeah.
said that you wanna keep your HP high or roll in? But
Yeah.
see how you got level 2, but it doesn't matter now.
Yeah. Because I'm too low to go in and do anything.
Yes, which is exactly what I predicted, right? So it's
Mhm.
like you're doing a shopping list, all of the notes that I said you shouldn't do, that's what you're doing.
Mhm.
So you're spacing out. There you did it again. See, you space out instead of keep walking in. Either stay far away. So press pause here and look at her. So imagine some lines that I'm gonna draw here. So either you wanna be, you see your caster minions. There are like two
Yeah.
in a line. Yeah. So that's the place where you can't be. You either wanna be deeper than that or farther away than that. So deeper than that, you can both hit each other. That's
Mhm.
fine. And farther away than that, none of you can. So either way, that's fine. That red line is the only place you can't be, because that's the place where she hits you, but you don't hit her. And that's where you have been playing
Okay.
all lane. You have been playing at that range all lane. In fact, anytime that you were gonna be deeper than that, you clicked back and spaced out, and she hit you for free. Right,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. So in here, it'd be good because I can trade back or out here because she can't trade me at all. But
Yes.
I'm playing like in the cuck zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We're getting on the capture.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.